Legislation to make it a hate crime to violently target the homeless failed to pass during the last legislative session in New Mexico. However, New Mexico State Senator Bill O'Neill plans to reintroduce the bill in the upcoming session.
With this horrific event in Albuquerque a couple of weeks ago, I started getting calls from advocates and folks who knew about this legislation and wondering if I was going to do it again. And so, of course, I'm going to do it again, but hopefully this time there'll be enough push to get it across the finish line.
Mesilla Valley Community of Hope provides services in Las Cruces and Doña County to help get folks on their feet and off the streets. The service center offers an overnight camp that can hold up to 50 homeless individuals. It's called Camp Hope, an alternative transitional living project supported by different agencies in Las Cruces. Camp Hope holds weekly conversations with a moderator to discuss issues within the camp and homeless community. It's a way for everyone at the camp to stay safe, voice his or her concerns, and find out helpful information. Randy Harris with The Great Conversation has been moderating the talks each week.
It's always, of course, a very civil and respectful dialogue. And as a result of that premise and the hard work of the campers and the staff at Community of Hope, this camp here, Camp Hope, has become a world-recognized model for how to move people from homelessness to housing and jobs and reconnection with their family and back into education.
At the meeting, there are former camp residents who are no longer experiencing homelessness and are back on their feet. They offer advice, information, and extra motivation to current camp residents. Josh Dixon resides at Camp Hope. He is sitting in on his first weekly conversation at the camp. Josh says he has been homeless for 7 years, and he is always paying attention to what is going on around him. He says the meeting was a great chance to offer his input.
And I liked it a lot, and I was able to voice my opinion, and they were respectful. Nobody cut me off, and none of that, so it was pretty good.
Josh said if violence against the homeless were a hate crime, it would offer more protection, and he wouldn't worry so much about the people he cares about who are also homeless. Camp Hope has a safety team that meets twice a week with staff at Mesilla Valley Community of Hope to keep them informed, and there is also an updated roster of all camp members. Executive Director Nicole Martinez says it's a great way for her staff to always know what is happening.
And so that helps us to know who all is at the camp at certain times, who's allowed to be there. And they also have a visitor sign-in log, so we know who's just visiting and who's going in, who's visiting whom, and so that's helpful for us to keep tabs on who is at the camp, who is being kept safe. I also can go out there at any time and see that they have a safety team roster that shows me who's on duty and when. So if there's an incident or something happening, I can immediately go and talk to that person who was on duty at the time. And then we have an incident report process.
Martinez says the Mesilla Valley Community of Hope also works with the Las Cruces Police Department on helpful ways to interact with those in the homeless community. If Senator O'Neill's legislation is introduced and passed during next year's legislative session, New Mexico will join 7 states along with Puerto Rico and the District of Columbia in making it a hate crime to violently target the homeless. For KRWG, I'm Anthony Moreno.